Hello YouTube. Doing this video because I haven't found a good review or video on this spray gun. The only known name on it or designation is HVLP. But the way you really know this gun is because it's the one that comes with 3 different needle jets and air caps. So it comes with a 1.4, a 1.7 and a 2.0, and that's the needle, the nozzle jet here, and the air cap. So I couldn't find any review on this thing, so I've used it, and I've also used these guys. I've spoken about these. I just want to quickly mention recently I used them again. This Harbor Freight green gun, I like that for my primer, my wet on wet primer, non-sandable primer. Does a great job with that. The purple gun, the new purple gun, doing very happy with that gun so far. I'll use that for anything. I used it for clear recently, and I used it for the metallic acrylic enamel. And then the SP-33,000, I also used this with clear, and no, I didn't use this with the metallic, I don't think. But anyway, they're all fine. They're all pretty good. This sprayed clear pretty well yesterday. And my comparison, I got some fan tests here. But what I want to say is, I used this today. I used this the other day with the 1.7 tip and clear that was a little on the thick side. I'm going to make another video about the viscosities of what you're painting. But in this particular case, I sprayed it. It was kind of thick stuff, and with the 1.7 tip, and it didn't come out good. It was, of course, orange peel, and it came out kind of thick. It was like very thick. So, and it caused me another problem. It wrinkled up the metallic underneath. So I had trouble with the 1.7. Now today, I stuck on the 2.0 tip, and I've been using the clear thinned out more now. Now it's a lot thinner. This gun sprayed beautiful with that combination. Now, I'm not giving you all the details, but basically it's clear acrylic enamel. There's not many of those available. It was over reduced to be thinner, but I was expecting to just open up the flow a tiny little bit because it's such a big tip, and it worked fine. And then let me see what I got here. This is close, medium, far. Oh, this is different pressures. See how small the fan is here. That's because I was starting with it barely any flow coming out, so it made a small pattern. I tried 30, 20, 35, 40 psi. They were pretty similar, not a big difference. And then finally I changed opening the flow, and I went from the minimum, and then I held the gun close and far, and it was small, and then a lot bigger when I pulled the gun away from it. But then I opened the flow to medium, and even I said max, but it kind of like a full flow, and it gave a much bigger pattern. But what shocked me was it wasn't super heavy. It wasn't like flooding the paper. With a 2.0 tip, I thought that would flood the paper. So anyway, that surprised me. And then I did some more testing with it, and I got it was really spraying that stuff well. Now, let me see this. This is with the gun close and far. This was probably not super opened up, but far away it was a bigger pattern. You know, okay, so now the other day I did the same some tests with the SP-33,000, and you can kind of see this is a fan here. This is when I was testing the thinner fluid. And this is when I had it really lean, very little coming out, and it was these little tiny fans. But more or less, the atomization really not that different. It's not like this gun doesn't atomize and the SP-33,000 atomized beautifully, you know. So that's just thing. It's a fine gun. It's worth the, I forget what I paid for it. was it $25 or $30, or it might, you know, something like that, but 3 different nozzles. The downfall with this gun is the finish is really kind of crappy, and the worst part that I've noticed, I don't care about the finish. The worst thing I noticed, the controls work very well, but the worst thing is the trigger. Today I was using it and it kind of like jammed, and I had to, it was catching itself. Now it hasn't happened since. I don't know what caused that, but you know, I assure you, this gun is a cheap gun. It's you know, but if you're playing around with different paints and trying to mix them different ways and this is one of the few options, a cheap option where you can try different needle jet sizes. And I'm just saying, if you put the right paint in it, get the viscosity right, it can spray very well, very nice. Almost as good as any of these other cheap guns. Maybe not almost as good, maybe as good, if not maybe better. I didn't really do a full test like the 2.0 against the 1.3 tip of this. I don't know how the difference would be, but it's definitely not any worse than this group of guns. And that's about it. Just don't expect it to be super quality. You know, your trigger might get stuck where it won't, and when I say stuck, I don't mean it was stuck open. It was like I couldn't open it. It was catching, it wouldn't open up, but since then it seems to be working good again.